Everyone say hi, YouTube. Spoiler alert, I don't have chat on this. You will not be in it, but you'll be in it spiritually. So, hello, I am analyzing the Metroid Prime 4 Beyond trailer from the Nintendo Direct today, from March 27th, our second trailer. I've been calling it the second look. I feel like it should be called that. We are going to poke through this video and see what things stand out to better understand the upcoming Metroid Prime 4. And I am doing a panel at PAX East discussing this. I'll put a link to that in the video if anyone's going to PAX East, or you're interested in possibly watching the VOD of that next May, or upcoming May. But for now, this is what we have. So let's check things out. It's not a clap, it's a finger snap. All right, so first of all, nothing new here. I think they did it on purpose. It's a similar environment that they showed in the first trailer that Samus ends up in. Very pretty, good vibes. I actually didn't notice this in my first watch through. It looks like a Galactic Federation dropship, or it's like a big bridge that connects here or something. But it looks like something fell and got like caught in the vines. Not entirely sure. It's a little too vague to really have a sense of it. This is gorgeous. I want to move here and live in this castle thing. Looks like there's some damage to things. So, you know, at one point in the Direct, they mentioned things being ancient. I think we might be getting a sense of that. And it's so big and epic that there is kind of this ancient aura to things as well. That's the title of the game. Also the logo, in case you didn't know that yet. Hear little critters crittering in the background. We're teleporting in. So, you know, we're not necessarily surprised by that at this point, but teleporting in, so there's, you know, teleportation mechanic. I actually didn't see it on my first watch. We do have the little psychic thing on the visor going, and the purplies, as I'm calling them. All the lights on Samus's presumably still Varia suit are purple here, which could be indicative of just the beam being on, our new psychic beam, which kind of just looks like a power beam. It might be like a modification to the power beam. I don't know if we have the psychic power-up that we see later. Probably, given that this is on the suit, but, you know, very, very to be determined. It kind of just looks like it's like, oh, purple, wave beam, but I think that has different meaning now. I do want to point out that this is moving as Samus walks, the little edges of the visor. It's pretty subtle. But if you speed this up and watch it, you'll be able to see that.
This is the unknown planet Euros. Here,
see how it's kind of poking around? That sounds cursed.
This is the unknown planet Euros.
Vuros is a weird name. I don't like it. I don't know if it means something. I don't like that name. I think it could have been better. Just me. Vuros? Come on. You can come up with anything in the world and you picked view. Like, it's already like a partially English thing. Just, I'm not into it. That's my, like, literally only qualm with this game so far. It doesn't feel good to me. Maybe there's a reason that'll be explained. I think if there's like a decent canonical reason that's like, oh, that's actually cool, then I hope that happens. But like Talon 4, it was a Chozo planet, little Talon reference. Neat. I don't know, there's just been like Zebus or Zebes or however you want to say it. That just had this cool sci-fi feel to it. SR388, just cool sci-fi feel. Vuros doesn't have that to me. Vuros sounds like someone who's not creative tried to come up with a name. Let's continue.
This is the unknown planet Vuros.
We got some butterflies flapping. And over here, this reminds me of, I don't remember the name of it, but in Metroid Prime 1, there's those big flowers that you can shoot and they explode and burn things around them. That has that vibe to it. I would not be surprised if it's a direct reference to that and they want the player to shoot them to have a similar effect. Or they maybe just burst. They're not necessarily incinerating nearby things, but they might burst and you can pick up health or missiles or what have you.
Finds a verdant jungle with a colossal tree at its center.
That is a big tree. I think this is the snippet that we have seen before. Just very jungly, very pretty.
And escape this
There's that
planet.
building we saw earlier. Maybe we're getting closer to that building
She
now.
was unexpectedly transported to.
And we've seen this guy, or the species at least, coming up, but the statue. So very, very Chozo-esque type of situation.
Samus must scan stone figures and other relics.
Ancient Lemorn sculpture. So there's the name of the species, Lemorn, carved from a single stone with identical dimensions to similar statues. Impressive. Maybe carved with psychic means. A receptacle for a psychic mote, I'm guessing is that guy, is built into its forehead, possibly alluding to some sort of psychic control. And then maybe like you scan it and it's like you get the chance to engage with it in a psychic way, and it like allows you to open the door. Beetle variant nest composed of hardened mud and clay. It's fragile enough for a single powerful blow, so hey, charge beam wall is essentially what that gets at, and there it is. Also notice no beam indicator or anything over here, so presumably this is still just like power beam. But this is a whole different game, so maybe it's just never going to be there anyways, who knows.
She's not alone though.
That little walking sequence is one of my favorite animations I've seen like in a video game.
She's not alone though.
It looks so good.
Abhorrent alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike.
These guys, to use an industry term, they're cool as heck. And I cannot wait to scuffle with them. They have whatever they're called. They might be Lemorns because they have the four arms that the other Lemorn monk-esque, god-esque looking guy has. So maybe they're Lemorns who are like Lemorn baddies for some reason. They got a reason that they're a baddie, or they're more like primitive, or who knows. But they're baddies. Clearly they're attacking Samus. Or they just don't know that Samus is a good guy. But they're attacking her one way or another. And it seems like you gotta shoot the glowy in combat, which was a little clearer future snippets. But this is also a very cool frame. Very cool. Another industry term. They're dropping health, same as the usual. This is Flagra's cousin, Bargra. Don't fact check me on that. This is Bargra, not Barbara. Bargra. Bargra is really just kind of this little annoying little guy. Gotta watch out. And then we got these little nematode dudes. They're flappy little guys, 2 legs. They'll kick you like a kangaroo. I get the sense based on the shape of their knees. But yeah, so don't get kicked. They got big legs. Look at those quads, dude. Watch out. Watch out. Big quads, big hams. They'll get you. They can fly up a little bit. Yeah, so here, that first shot, I guess it missed. It does seem like maybe you don't have to shoot him in the glowy. Maybe it's a weak spot though. I feel like, you know, game design things. Yeah, I guess shot this one in the head. Maybe you can shoot in the glowy and it still does extra damage or something. Or maybe it's not at all. There's your indicators now. So you've hit a new point in the game. Here's your missiles. And it's interesting. It's missiles is like a swappable thing. Missile ammo over here, but so there might be like power-up type things. And so instead of having like in Prime games you hit Y for a missile, maybe it's like actually its own separate thing. Or it could be missiles, super missiles, psychic missiles. Like this could be 4 different types of missiles too. Still need to see how that develops, but that's pretty cool.
Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers. Psychic abilities.
Psychic abilities.
These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms.
I'm guessing that is like effectively a key where you're able to yoink either energy, some sort of energy, or possibly something like physically out of this structure, and then bloop, and like infrared light of a certain wavelength shown to the structure or some other sort of psychic interaction.
And open doors.
And open the big fancy door. That's one of the coolest doors of all time. That's just a fact. Look it up.
Also allow her to control the trajectory.
And then we got this. So this might be wave beam still. This might not necessarily be psychic beam. This might be a wave beam. It certainly looks like it. It's got the three shots coming out of it. And then the actual control scheme for this could be a lot of different things. Hard to know. Also, they have this different thing on the visor here. It might be like you do have sort of like some psychic quote-unquote missile that needs to recharge, and like bombs, how you get 3 and then they recharge, you might have a psychic shot or something. And you saw how presumably these 3 enemies were not damaged already. So it might have been a one-hit kill. Boink, boink, and they're completely still, so it like pauses everything around you. So to me, it reminded me of VATS and Fallout, although technically things are still moving within that, and it's certainly done differently, but kind of a similar outcome that you can like choose the order of how you want to do things, but you're doing it live, so a little different, but pretty neat to do it live too. And I do see that if you look at this, the way that it starts, so there's 1, 2, 3, and then a blue one. Now there's only 2 and then a blue one, and then there's 1 and a blue one. So it might be indicative that you can only hit 3 targets before it ends anyways. It wasn't like selected to end necessarily. It's like, okay, you hit 3 things, it's done. You get three like hurt box interactions probably, and then maybe you get to do 3 of them before you can't keep doing it for a little while. So that's not necessarily a beam, but it probably, you know, essentially functions like one. And it's very slow, but it does pause time, so kind of, I'm suspecting there might be enemies that are like resistant to it, so maybe they're not necessarily stuck in time, or they have, you can't use it on them. They're like, nope, I'm immune to psychic, and you got to kill me the old-fashioned way. There might be enemies that have the opposite of that too, where they're completely invulnerable, and you have to use a psychic ability to like mess with their mind, and then they like flip upside down and expose their soft underbelly, and then you can shoot a missile onto it. That type of thing I would expect could be a mechanic within battle.
Powers bestowed upon Sam.
And then here we have the psychic telekinesis thing going on to move this lever, presumably to open this door. And you can see the psychic circle-y circles on the side. I don't know if they're actually indicative of anything other than, hey, you're using a certain psychic ability. This is our telekinesis one. It's not necessarily something you run out of ammo with. And then we have the Lemorn, as we now know them to be. I think it's pretty cool. They're like little axolotl dudes. I think that's a fun design choice. Axolotl already kind of look ethereal in a way. They're very cute, but they're like have this etherealness to them. So this is like really tapping into that as like these holy ethereal axolotl beings. Cool design element, I think. Samus is the chosen one. Chosen for what? I don't know. She's chosen for stuff all the time. So it's, to her, it's another day. This is a really cool area leading into that great main building that we saw earlier, would be my guess. Have some other statues. These just look a little more decorative than anything else. Morph ball confirmed, baby. I know we had it confirmed already before, but you still got it here. Very exciting stuff. This is psychic ability either opening an actual door or like creating a portal, and maybe you have to trace along a certain line within a certain time limit, or just trace it in general. Could be related to the telekinesis ability where you have to like follow along with a certain path to accomplish something. And the control scheme, who knows? There is like the rumor with like the mouse like element of the Joy-Con, so it could be that you're like actually kind of drawing it or using a mouse like motion with it, which is what I hope it is. But it might just be like if you're playing with the Joy-Con, you're holding it out like this, you would draw the path. If you're using a Pro controller or whatever the new equivalent is, you would maybe like have the cursor at a certain spot and then use the gyroscope in that to like kind of swing it around. Or maybe there's a totally control stick option too. Who knows what it'll end up being. And yeah, the reticule. Just blanking on the word, is a square in this case. So this might be like the range of psychic ability that's like acceptable. You have to get within that range. This did look like it was on a really excellently drawn path, though. You know what I mean? It wasn't like shaking around, so that might not have been motion controls at all. A lot going on here. So she's in this big room. I'm guessing that's the room of the main hall, kind of the huge giant seed-like looking room, summoning something. This looks to me kind of like a Gundam-y thing going on. It's a little hard to tell, but you can kind of see what could be like a leg, an arm, and an arm, but it might just be that this ship sort of has like limbs with the way its like landing structure is. This does not look to be in the same, technology style as the Lemorn. To me, this is probably Galactic Federation stuff. It could be something related to Silex, because something this direct in the trailer within it does not necessarily do is indicate what's going on with Silex here. So there's got to be some sort of tie-in. This could be part of that tie-in.
Be her fate.
We did get the Metroid, but this looks like it might still be like a scene from that first showcase in the previous direct from June. This, I'm not going to do the work for it, but this honestly might just be an actual clip of that same cutscene where a Metroid trickles in before Silex shows up type of deal. And then we got whatever is going on here. It looks like it's growing, whatever this creature is growing some sort of Metroid-like thing on it. My guess with this right now is that Silex is also on the same planet that Samus is, trying to accomplish some sort of goal. Silex is trying to, either Samus is trying to stop Silex on this planet, or Samus is trying to do something on this planet and Silex is trying to stop her. And Silex has these Metroids and other bioweapon-like things to interact with the natural species of this planet and essentially corrupt it and maybe gain some sort of control over it, or just cause the animal to be like totally rabid and be very aggressive and combatant. But it's pretty gross looking. I cannot wait to see what's going on with this guy. This is basically an elite from Halo who has been in the gym for 30 years. And is jacked. And those are some of the coolest things I can think of. So I can't wait to see what's going on with this dude. It might be a space pirate. It certainly kind of has a space pirate feel to it. And it could even be just like a boss from the first area before you kind of get to this new planet. You get to Vuros. This might just be like a one-off space pirate boss. Might not be part of the main story. But such a cool dude. I sort of hope he is. And then we got Flagra's cousin. Other cousin, Carvex here. I like seeing the health bar with these increments and matching the way that you have increments in your health bar. I think that's a cool addition. I will also say that the font used, it looks to be a derivative of the font used in Metroid Prime. Fun fact. But this is a pretty different looking fight than Flagra because you're able to shoot it directly. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were actually related or if it was just kind of a callback for the sake of like fan service, essentially, to a Flagra fight. And it is in a circular arrangement, just like the first Flagra fight is, which is pretty cool.
Are beginning to weave a new tale.
Some sort of power-up thing going on here. We place our faith in you. Chosen one, right? Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. And then the big finale here looks like getting the suit upgrade itself, because Samus ends up looking at her armor and looking at things a bit, which is similar to cutscenes of the past when Samus gets a suit upgrade. This is so cool. And it's so detailed. The lighting on like the inner, more flexible part of the suit looks really good. It does kind of have a light suit spin to it, but it's a little bit more, I'd say, badass, honestly. It looks a lot cooler. I'm really digging this maroon. It's like hot rod coloring to it, and it's got a little bit more. It's got the triple, probably not light emitting diodes, LEDs, but they might be. Possibly a callback to that psychic triple wave beam-esque shape going on too. Maybe the suit enhances the psychic abilities in some way, but it looks fantastic. What an excellent looking suit. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. What's going on with the Lemorn? Are these also Lemorn, or are they just similar in arm count? They don't seem to be quite axolotl-like, but they do have the little tendrils 4x tendril like things coming off their head. The Lemorn have 6. So maybe they are not the same or not as derivative of each other as I am wondering, but I think it's a decent thing to wonder about. I'm going to call this the psychic suit, by the way, until we get another name. It's probably going to have a more interesting name than that. Very shiny, big shoulders. They know what they're doing. It looks very athletic too. That's another thing I get out of this, is it looks like with the Varia suit, the gravity suit, those things, they're a little more on the bulky, beefier side, where it like is indicative of like being a defensive type suit. This looks like Samus could go fast. You know what I mean? It's so streamlined. Maybe we'll have Speed Booster in the game, or something similar where Samus can go fast. Maybe that's intentional. It might just be sleek and cool looking, but maybe there's actually some function to that design aesthetic too. Who knows? One other thing to point out is the boots on it. I mean, they show the boots first. They're mostly like not the same red armor. There's this other kind of like grayish color. Although I guess actually looking at it now, it is armor. But there's different shoes going on here a little bit. I don't know if that has any significance. It could be something to do with running or with movement options. Maybe these are the hover boots. Who knows? At the end of the day, all we know is cool suit, look cool. Got some spinal cord stuff going on. Looks like there's even a little slot to plug in. Maybe that's how we download stuff, like in Metroid Fusion when you download updates. Maybe we'll be downloading updates too. Get that spinal DLC. But yeah, that's all for now. Really excited to see more Prime 4 content whenever we get it. I'll be doing my best to stay on top of it. I will also be streaming the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct next week, next Wednesday on April 2nd. So make sure you come by for that. Oh, we have a guest. Say hi to the kitty cat. Okay, all done. That was a really impressive jump. Thank you guys for watching. Check out my reaction if you haven't. And see you next week for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct.